If you struggle with shyness or social anxiety, check out our free No BS training course with actual useful advice you can do from home. None of that just get out there nonsense. The link is in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
I remember the day my wedding ritual started. It was a 3-day wedding, which is customary in India. The very first time I was going to step out into the venue, all dressed up, I kept my eyes resolutely on the floor. I was afraid I would look up, find a sea of eyeballs evaluating, measuring, judging. I finally looked up. And there everyone was socializing, talking, eating, catching up with others. I wasn't nearly the showstopper I was scared I would be. Why are you shy of running in public? The same reason I was extremely conscious at my wedding. We all think of the world as being wrapped around us. It isn't. We aren't nearly as awesome as we think. But thank goodness, because we also aren't nearly as embarrassing as we think. And it is truly a liberating, glorious realization that the world is in fact afloat, like fog, enveloping every individual in their own little nooks. Go for a run, you'll see what I mean. I don't feel shy when I run or jog in public, but I can certainly understand why someone might. Nary a day goes by when I don't get at least some unwanted attention from someone. A honk here, a shout there. Eva received some doozies. These harassments are almost always done by a perpetrator in a vehicle, or among a group of friends. They never dare do it alone. A common one is "Run, Forrest, run." I hear that at least once a week, and it's always from a male between the ages of 15 to 30. I think this is both annoying and also a testament at how great the film Forrest Gump truly is. When 20-something college kids who weren't even born yet know lines from this film, then you know the movie was influential. I digress. People in groups will shout much more aggressively. When there are 5 college brothers all in a group, and they are on the same path that I'm jogging, rest assured, I will receive harassment from them. Every time. No exceptions. Some kind of expletive will get hurled at me, and it's usually laced with a homophobic slur. I'm not exaggerating. I get harassed by women to a far lesser degree. It's a rare occasion when it happens. Usually, I'm much more likely to receive a honk and a wave, which isn't really harassment, per se. It's just kind of startling if you aren't expecting it. So, I can see why you'd be shy running in public. I certainly don't understand why someone would just embrace public humiliation with open arms. I never started running for the attention. That's for damn sure. This isn't to say you will be harassed when you go and run, but there is somewhat of a risk there. People can be mean for no reason. Even when you are just minding your own business, following traffic laws, and doing absolutely nothing wrong. I suggest that if you go out and run, that you remember this. It's not you. It's them. You expect us to guess it or what? It may be so because you have confidence or self-esteem issues. It may be so because you feel ashamed by the fact that you are not very good runner, or by your looks or anything like that. It may be so because you are from a country in which running is not perceived as normal activity. Maybe you feel offended by attention from other people. Maybe all of those on a list above. I know girls who say, I don't want to run in public places. I don't want other guys to see me almost naked. There are multiple possible reasons, and it is hard to guess what's bad in your case, knowing literally nothing about you. I personally not only feel okay about running in public, but even feel that there is something wrong with people who are uncomfortable or shy to do it. I can understand them in some ways though, but I can't force myself to feel that it is fine to be like that. I did running in several different countries with completely different cultures. In Russia and Ukraine, running isn't perceived like some typical activity. It attracts even more attention if you are doing it in winter. When I was reading Shoot Dog by Phil Knight, creator of Nike, there was a part about how running was perceived in USA 5,060 years ago. It sounded very familiar to me. In Ukraine and Russia, my experiences included people shouting stuff like "Stop it, you are not fat," or "Don't have money for a car, dude," or simply some offensive words. Obviously not everybody is like that, and a lot of people shout something to motivate or support you. One common thing is, your behavior is considered rather uncommon, so there's a lot of attention, both positive and negative. Now over last several weeks I did several runs in USA and Germany. It is completely different. There are so many people around you running that nobody really cares, at least compared to Ukraine. In Ukraine, when I was running in the morning on a road outside my small native town, I sometimes saw 1 or 2 people running. On some days I didn't see runners at all. When I had a Saturday run in Mountain View, California, Number of runners I met in 1.5 hours was 3-digit. See the difference? Now it is easier to me to understand why somebody may be shy running in Ukraine, and being different, but in USA it just looks normal. I'm not shy to do running. I enjoy it and I don't care if there is attention from people around me or not. Most of the time I don't even hear them because of audiobook or music. I think my body is awesome, so it also isn't a reason for me to be shy or ashamed of running. And one more thing that I know, when somebody shouts something to me during running, unless their comments are stop overpronating and relax shoulders, I'm quite sure that I'm in much better shape than they are. The first step in how to make running a habit and get fit is to forgive yourself. And don't be ashamed to start exactly where you are. This is just a starting point. It doesn't define you. Personally, shyness ruined most of my 20s, but the man who really turned my life around was Sean. How to Overcome Shyness, the ultimate 3-step guide. Moldita. Not sure why, but when I started running, I was fine walking into a run shop to buy cute tanks and shorts, but getting fitted for the right shoes scared the bejesus out of me. I was nervous about running around the store and horribly self-conscious about the process of fitting, which really ain't no thing, baby. If you're nervous to get started running outside because you feel you'll be scrutinized by judgmental drives, don't be. Most drivers are busy trying to rock out to Katy Perry without being noticed, or their mind is elsewhere. Even if they do notice you huffing and puffing, it's probably for 20 seconds or less as they zoom by you on the roadway. Usually, when you're nervous to run, it seems worse in your mind. Just get out there and run, you'll see it's not as bad as you make it seem. Even hundreds of miles later, I sometimes still try and use that excuse, but it's really silly. If you're like me, people are staring at your boobs and body flopping around when you run and making rude comments. Or if you're like me, people come up to you and ask you who are you running from, and other rude comments even though clearly you're in sweats with tennis shoes outside. Eva found the solution to this is to go to the indoor gym or a safe walking/jogging trail and then blast your headphones loudly till you can't hear guys talking about you or to you and then ignoring them at all costs when you go to lift the weights at the gym. You might be self-conscious of your weight, whether you're thin or large, or afraid people are looking at you. Some people are. Don't worry about them. I would work out inside if that's the case, at the indoor gym, or if you're rich and able enough, and you have the space in your house, buy a treadmill and put it in your house and use that. And invest in very loud headphones. Low self-esteem. Maybe you feel so thin or so fat to run around for all the world to see. This is also a sign that you are self-reflective. An introvert, in a word.